Hi, Adrian Fryer here, and I'd like to share with you just the swing thoughts of James Robinson. James has just recently graduated from the Europro Tour up to the Challenge Tour because of his win and his high order of merit position. So next year he's going to be competing on the Challenge Tour and hopefully ultimately the European Tour. So this is basically a culmination of a good 13 years work with James, who was a very good amateur, won the Lytham Trophy, and was one of the first amateurs to win on the Europro Tour and then go on to win professionally. So what can you learn from this swing? So obviously, first of all, great posture. You can see lovely posture, straight spine, arms hanging, balance, weight even, correct stance width, and a very orthodox grip. First thing I think that most amateurs could really benefit from is this takeaway. You'll notice here as he takes the club away in the right hand screen that the club head is staying outside his hands. This is really key, that this club head does this, so the club's kind of just shaving the plane, it's swinging back on the angle it's built. This is a crucial time for many people because a lot of people manipulate the club straight away. They whip it in with the hands and get the club off on the wrong path, trying to get the club inside too quickly. Also, this is engaging his body. Notice how his hips, shoulders, chest all work in one piece here. Then as he swings back, he's setting the club, so he's got some nice leverage created, straight left arm, setting this angle here, getting about a 90-degree wrist hinge or so by the time the hands are getting up to chest height there. Also, this is set on plane, so he's setting it where the club's pointing at the object he's going to hit, or just slightly steeper in James's case. He traditionally, as a youngster, used to get the club very flat, so we've spent a lot of time getting the club back into this position. Occasionally these days he can let the club sneak a little bit too steep with the club face a little closed, which then means he has to react in the downswing and drop his posture underneath to correct it. So we're certainly trying to minimize that in the swing. Also, as he's turned away here, notice how centered he is, that everything's just stacked on top, so there's no swaying. Great advice would be just turn in your own space. So when you're turning away, just turn in your own space. The weight will naturally rotate over your right side as an effect of your turn, without you having to try and move your weight. Now from here, and this is the key move with many professionals, you'll see he starts to unwind. His weight is centering back here, so at this point here now he's storing the leverage he created early in his backswing. You can see the club is shallowing onto plane here, so he's got the club running parallel to the original shaft plane. His weight's really starting to unwind, so he's dragging these angles down into impact. And just here approaching impact on the left, you can see he's got some shaft lean. That means the club's going to be squeezing the ball. And in James's case, we've worked a little bit on his leg action. He used to be a little slidey with his knees, so now you can see his left hip and left leg straightening up, allowing that club to be catapulted through at high speed. Notice how the shaft on the right hand picture is getting back close to the original angle here. So again, that shows that he's stayed in posture and not swung the club on the wrong path. He's got a nice neutral arc, and that's something we've been working on, trying to get James to swing the club a little bit more down the line, with the club face squaring up a touch earlier, so the path is more what we call zeroed out. He's not as inside as he used to be, which tended to cause the odd little high push in his case. As he goes through the ball here, again, another great thing most of the amateurs can learn from is notice how his upper arms here are connected to his chest. A great feeling if you imagine you had two credit cards under your arms when you were swinging and you weren't going to drop them. This encourages his arms, body and club all to turn through at the same rate, and it makes the closure of the club face very consistent, so he's not manipulated it too much with his hands here. The larger muscles are carrying that club through, the club's being thrown out, so he's got this lovely long right arm here, which again I would encourage any amateur to try and get the feel of that extension. The club then just exits nicely back out on plane here, so you can see the club again is just following the same lines that he established at address. And if you can get that shape of golf swing happening with a square club face and the ball gets in the way of it, the rest is history. You're going to end up in a nice balanced finish like this, being able to produce that very consistent shape of arc. So I hope you found that useful, and we wish James the best of luck this year, or this coming year, on the Challenge Tour. I'm sure he's going to progress, and hopefully we'll see him on our TV screens very shortly.